Roddy Ricch has a massive year every year, and at this point, he's not only sold over 7 million different copies with his single "The Box." Not only does he have 9 Grammy nominations for that run back in 2019, and all of that, he does have 3 number 1 hit singles. And it starts to raise the question at this point, could we start calling him, let's say, the new face of rap? Because commercially, out of the new generation, at this point, whoever's active, I don't think anyone is doing commercial numbers like Roddy Ricch.
And guys, before we get into this, let us know in the comments if you think Roddy's the new face of hip-hop, or if you have another name in mind. And we're connecting the world to hip-hop. We post content 4 times in the week, so stay connected for more. But in terms of Roddy Ricch, I feel like he is the face of melodic rap, which is kind of the new subgenre that's taking complete control of the rap game, and nobody does it better than him. And like you were just saying, he has all of these accomplishments, all of these plaques. He has 2 number 1 hit singles. The Box spent 11 weeks at #1. So at this point, for him to do that with only 1 studio album out, it's fucking impressive, man.
It is impressive. And if you talk about Feed the Streets, and especially the second installment, those are 2 great mixtapes. The first one a bit less than, the second one. But I mean, going into, excuse me for being antisocial, I like the type of energy he brought on there. It was different. It was like, it sounded very similar to his first 2 mixtapes. But the thing is that I find like his voice was much clearer. The way he engineered his voice was, there wasn't many vocal effects on it. Not only that, but like he was also not afraid to really try and touch those harmonies that maybe he didn't on the first 2 mixtapes. Not only that, but like you got stacked feature lists there. So where do you think he has to go now? Because it's such an interesting conversation with him, because you feel like he's completed so much, especially in such a short period of time. Where is there to go now? Because we do know that he likes to take time on these projects.
Yeah, he definitely does. And I mean, what I loved about Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial was the fact that the production was so diverse. You got some beats that were, similar to ATL trap beats. Then you got, some flute-driven melodies and that sort of stuff. And like you were saying, the feature list was stacked. You got, songs with Gunna. You had songs with A Boogie with the Hoodie. You got Meek Mill on Peta, which was probably the best feature on the album.
It was.
But what really impressed me was Roddy's vocal range, man.
Exactly.
I mean, this guy has a high-pitched flow, and, the vocal inflections that he brings are similar to Young Thug, I would say.
Yeah.
And that's one of his biggest influences. And I just feel like nobody is dominating that gospel singing in hip hop like Roddy, is doing. And if you look at a song like Perfect Time, that's a perfect example of just what he has in his arsenal of vocal capabilities. And not only that, but I just feel like that was one of the best trap albums, if not one of the best albums of 2019. And at this point, the question is, I mean, what does he have to do more to really stand out and become that leader of this new generation?
That's it. I don't know, because it would be such a hard move to do. And I like where it sounds at, because I feel as if more than ever, especially comparing it to like his last to his first 2 projects, the engineering and the mixing is perfect. The track placements were really great. Like, Roddy Ricch is not going to bring you like crazy content matter, and we all know that. So basically, what you go into a Roddy Ricch song for is, obviously his melodies, his vocal performances, and the types of, let's say, productions too, because he has a very, very, very West Coast driven sound as well, especially on his productions. And you saw that was prominent with the Feed the Street series. So apparently he's going to drop his 3rd installment. Apparently that's going to happen. Apparently he got a tattoo, and he put it on his IG story, and he ended up putting, I think it was hashtag #3 right next to it. And it kind of confirms the whole thing that he might be wrapping the series up with the 3rd installment.
He also teased a new album called Love Is Barely Real Anymore.
Okay, but how is that good? Like, what's the whole basis behind that? Because I've heard some rumors about it, but nothing ever really concrete.
So I'll actually read you something from an interview that he did with Variety, talking about, him taking time with his projects. And that's what I love about him, is that, he takes his time to craft something special. So I'll read this excerpt to you.
Yeah, let's hear this.
So he says, I feel like the problem with us nowadays is we want everything right now, but the music isn't going to be progressive when you're putting something out every 3 months.
Facts.
because you ain't been through nothing. You still feel like how you felt when you dropped the last piece of music. To me, stuff doesn't happen in my life every single day. Maybe for some people it does, but my life doesn't happen so fast. So I have to give myself time to actually go through things so I can speak on it and have a new understanding of life. It's not that I like to make music that's not my life, so I feel like I need to give my life time to be inspired. And that's what he's doing now. You know, he's taken 2 years off since his debut album, and the next direction for him is to maybe get more conscious with his lyrics and maybe form.
That's where I feel like he could probably do. Yes, okay, you pointed that out perfect. Somewhere I think he could really improve is his content matter, because often I would go through the music and like I was a big fan of the production, I was a big fan of the vocal performances, the melodies were always on point, but the content matter feels a bit stagnant within his project.
Yes,
that's the only problem with it.
But at the same time, I mean, he's a hit maker at the end of the day, right? So you don't have to go to him for that. But the other thing too is that, I mean, look, he's 22 years old and
he definitely has time.
He made the box. Apparently, he recorded that whole thing in 15 minutes.
No, I get you. Like, his ability to make hits is crazy, but I don't know, even at that point, like what would constitute someone the face of hip hop? Because let's say we look at it now and you look at Drake. I mean, the face of hip hop has to be able to do two things, in my opinion: sail to the mainstream and really carry the genre on its back and bring in as many people as it possibly can with its mainstream hits, plus being able to tie everyone over in the actual community and release good music and being able to have that whole grab. And I think, yes, his ability to make hits, and, you know, he's built up a beautiful core fan base, and I'm a fan of his as well, but I think it's lacking on the fact that he needs to really sharpen his craft when it comes to the writing.
The content matter for sure. I mean,
because think about it, right? Like, that would be the only thing that would be able to perfect his sound, because he has the melodies on point, he has the vocal performances on point, his production is always super well done, and it's always, like, you know, chosen to a T. So what really more could he do besides
he
the
even
content?
has the creativity. If you look at a song like War Baby, you know, it was his idea
Fantastic
to bring
song.
in that choir and to rap over it. And what I think separates Roddy from the rest of people that are in his lane, let's say, is the fact that if you remove the reverb, all the vocal effects to Roddy's voice, and just have his raw singing,
Sound perfect.
it's amazing. But you can't say that for some of the other rappers that are competing with him. In terms of content matter, I mean, yes, on Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, he rapped about, you know, how it feels to be able to, you know, put money in his mom's bank account and that sort of stuff, and kind of his experiences getting out of the streets, because he was a Crip, you know, growing up. But he can develop that further and, you know, make that evolution come full circle. But at the end of the day, he's doing everything right now, and there's nothing that could stop him, in my opinion.
No, there isn't anything that could stop him, because whatever he's going to put out, the fans are going to eat up. And that's what's nice about making your fan base wait a bit, is just, you know, it creates that anticipation. It creates the fun of it, because think about it, you know, Roddy Ricch fans are still eating on that 2019 drop, and it still sounds super fresh. And, you know, it was only, I would say, really like half a year ago that the box really started dying down. And, you know, that's not to say that Roddy Ricch is going to come out and he's going to put out something with shit content matter. No, what I mean by it is just more like, if he wants to perfect his sound, definitely an area he has to work on is that content matter. And if he does it, then I think that's when he's going to be able to really say, hey, I'm on top of everyone at that point. Even someone like Lil Baby. Thank you guys for watching the whole video. Hit that subscribe button to join the family. We're doing weekly reviews. We're giving you guys all the updates in the industry. Plus, we have our series called What to Expect, where we actually take you through the album before it drops. Plus, if you guys want to chat with us, you guys could join our Discord server. The link is in the bio. You guys could talk hip hop with us there. Thank you guys for watching again. And guys, I'll see you on the next one.